So long, so long, so long, so long, so long. I believe, I believe, I believe. Good evening to you and you and you and you. Another Thursday evening, another beautiful, beautiful Thursday evening. How are you doing this evening? We have all kinds of stuff going on, all kinds of stuff. I want to say hi to you all. Welcome, 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 welcome to the show. It is Thankful Thursday with Chris Whilby. Yeah, and I'll be your host for the next couple of hours. I will be hanging around with you, uh, giving you some information, playing some songs, and just enjoying ourselves and giving God thanks and praise. Number to call me at throughout the program is 774-408-8860. I say again, 774-408-8860. That is the number to call me at if you want to have a conversation. Oh, I tell you, lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff going on this evening. Lots and lots of stuff going on this evening. But I want to welcome those of you tuning in on Linkage Radio, those of you tuning in on Caribbean Vibes Radio.com, my YouTubers, those of you live on Facebook. I want to say good evening to you and welcome, welcome, welcome. It is indeed an honor to be with you this evening. But let me go to some news. We have some news here, ladies and gentlemen. We have some news coming out of the air. All right, so we have some breaking news coming out of New York City this evening, and that is where I am going to start the show. So, by now, most of you would have heard that he has been indicted. That is, the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, has been indicted. That is where we are going to start the show. As you come on, those of you on the YouTube channel, I'm going to ask if you could share the link for me. The indictment of Donald Trump marks an unprecedented development in the country's history. The first time a former president has ever faced criminal charges. Historians say that not since Richard Nixon had there been the real prospect of a commander-in-chief being formally accused of a crime, though Nixon avoided that fate after being pardoned by successor Gerald Ford. Trump's indictment by a New York grand jury was confirmed this evening and to multiple news sources. While the charge against him remained unclear, he had been under investigation by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg. And that has been over money paid to adult film star or film actress Stormy Daniels during Trump's 2016 presidential bid to stop Daniels from going public about what she claimed was an affair with Trump. Trump denies any wrongdoing, saying he is being politically persecuted, and maintains he had never had a relationship with Daniels. He has defended the $130,000 he paid Daniels, with his attorneys describing it as extortion. The indictment, resulting from just one of multiple investigations into Trump, comes in the early stages of the 2024 presidential race as Trump seeks the Republican nomination for a third time. Beyond the uncertainty that being indicted inserts into Trump's comeback campaign, the legal development thrust him, the judicial system, and perhaps the country itself into uncharted waters. The only other point of comparison is when then Vice President Aaron Burr killed himself. Let me read that again. Pardon me. The only other point of comparison is when then Vice President Aaron Burr killed Alexander Hamilton in a duel in 1804, and after leaving office was arrested, tried, and found innocent around charges of staging an insurrection. Undergrove said. Besides, alter in a separate matter, then President Ulysses S. Grant was arrested in 1872 related to speeding on his carriage. With Trump, it's a very different circumstances. Unlike Nixon, who was ultimately pushed out of office under bipartisan pressure, Trump has gotten backing from his fellow conservatives. And unlike Nixon, Trump has no hopes of a presidential pardon from his successor, Democrat Joe Biden. President Ford pardoned Nixon in September 1974, igniting instant controversy, and said in a speech to the public that his decision was in the interest of ending the prolonged fallout from Watergate and its cover-up, which had roiled the country and led to a slew of political resignations or officials being charged. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is where we start off the evening. It's Thankful Thursday, and boy, am I thankful. What are you thankful for this evening? I am thankful that I live to see the day when this is happening. I know that I am among a lot of people who will tell you that they are thankful. Thankful that I will get to see Donald Trump mugshot. I may not get to see him go to prison because I still don't think that is going to happen. I don't think he's going to go to but I want to. It's going to give me satisfaction, to be honest with you, to see him in his mugshot, and his mugshot is going to be plastered. He's going to be fingerprinted. There's going to be a mugshot of him, and I think more than anything else, I don't think he minds being charged because he is going to see himself as a martyr, a political martyr. Or martyr. So I don't think that he mind being charged. He likes the excitement of it. But one thing that I do not believe he wanted or he wants is that mugshot, because that is going to live in eternity on the internet. That mugshot is going to be fingerprinted and he's going to have a mugshot. And that, more than anything else, is what he wanted to avoid. He did not want this. I guarantee you, he did not want this. But anyway, if you want to have a discussion about it, you know how to contact me. 774-408-8860. I say again, 774-408-8860. It is Thankful Thursday, and the show is on the road.
Me don't care what nobody wants say. As long as the Father sit on the throne, we can't, we want dead be hungry. I will not suffer. I will not beg no bread. Not beg no bread. God is my provider. I will not beg no bread. You know the reason why? Him and me daddy, oh. Him and me daddy. Him and me daddy, oh. Him and me daddy. Him and me daddy, oh. Jesus and me daddy, oh. When I need peace, He is Jehovah.
15 minutes after 8 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock, we're gonna have at 9 o'clock we are going to have the program In the Spotlight with Chris Whilby. If you remember, this is a program we started some time ago, and we are going to revive the program this evening. So at 9 o'clock, we are going to have that feature, and we're going to be featuring on the program Philip George Edward Siaga. And from time to time, every last Thursday of the month, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to, at 9 o'clock, every last Thursday, we're going to have the program In the Spotlight. We're going to be shining a light on interesting people, places, and things. Interesting people, places, and things. There are times when I'm going to be doing telephone interviews. Other times it will be in-person, in-studio interviews. Other times it may be video call-in, and or video conference, however you want to put it. And there are times when I may just find an interesting thing, an interesting place, an interesting person, and just feature them. And that is where we are going to start or revive the program this evening. We're starting off with Edward Siaga. And ladies and gentlemen, the reason I am starting with Edward Siaga, there's a lot of misconception about the man himself and what he has and has not accomplished. And I want to just put it on the record, some of the things, some of his work that he did. So that's where we are going this evening at 9 o'clock. I hope that you can stick around for that. All right. As we continue with the show, so I should put out there, out there a topic that I want to throw out there. The topic of tipping. The topic of tipping. Should you be compelled to tip when you go to a restaurant? It's a very, very interesting topic, one that has been debated and one that is constantly in the headline. How do you feel about tipping, and should tipping be mandatory? Should tipping be mandatory? Especially when you go to a restaurant. Should you be forced to tip your waiters? I have a theory on that. I will talk about that in a moment. But should you be forced to tip your waiters? And if so, how much is a reasonable tip? What if your waiter, what if you don't tip your waiter? What if you believe that the service wasn't good? Should you still be compelled to tip the person?
Come on, let's go. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation. We've been called for to to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am.
Evening. I want to say good evening to Sister Carol.
God says I am.
And of course, First Lady Yvette. Good evening to you.
Where He says I'm at, I know.
Lady D. Denise Gomez.
I'm working in power.
New York City Massive. Good evening to you.
The life of favor. I know who I am. I'm working in power. I work in miracles. I live a life of favor. I know who I am. Chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me, and I know who I am. We are a chosen generation, we've been called for to show His excellence. All I require for life, God has given me. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I know who God says I am. What He says I am. Where He says I'm at. I know who I am. I'm working in power. I work in miracles. I live a life of favor. I know who I am. I'm working in power. I work in miracles. I live a life of favor. I know who I am. Everybody shout it. I know who I am. Somebody shout it. I know who I am. Raise your hands, shout I know who I am. I know who I am. I am holy. Come on. I am righteous. Oh, I'm working in power. I work in miracles. I live a life of favor. I know who I am. I'm working in power. I work in miracles. I live a life of favor. I know who I am. Take a look at me, I'm a wonder. It doesn't matter what you see now. Can you see His glory? I know who I am. Take a look at me, I'm a wonder. It doesn't matter what you see now. Can you see His glory? I know who I am. I know who I am. I know who I am. How many of you know who you are? Come on. Come on.
It's 25 minutes after the hour, 25 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. How are you doing this evening? It is Thankful Thursday. My name is Chris Wilby, and of course, you are going to be hanging around with me until later on tonight. That is going to be at 10 o'clock, right? So, yeah, so mandatory tipping. I have to call it mandatory tipping. I say mandatory. I know it's not law that you have to tip, especially when you go to a restaurant. But we have been conditioned in the United States to think that it is mandatory, right? Because this guilt trip is put on you if you don't tip. And I do not believe that tipping, in my opinion, should be forced, or you should be made to feel bad if you do not tip somebody. Yeah? So I see Sister Carol saying here that we should not be forced to tip our waiters. However, they get paid so little to do so much that a 15% of the total is reasonable, and we up it according to how excellent the service is. You know, uh, I have a I have a problem with that. I honestly do. And I know some people are probably going to have an issue with me because they're probably going to say, why, um, Chris mean, you see? And they're probably going to say, why Chris mean because Chris don't want to tip. It's not that I am mean because I do tip when I go to a restaurant. And especially if the service is good. If the service is good, the service is great, I absolutely is going to give a decent tip. But that is a problem. The problem is that people are forced to tip because, as Carol says, that it should be 15. Because some people it's between 15 and 20% of your total bill. It shouldn't be that either. You should not have to pay 15% of your bill, because basically what you are essentially doing is paying the waiters. It should be up to the employer. It should be up to their employers to pay them and pay them a decent wage. It shouldn't be up to you. You are going there not to pay the waiters and waitresses or whatever, the servers. You are not going there to pay them. You're going there to buy something. You're going there to enjoy yourself. You're going there to buy your meal. So you are already buying something. You're already paying for this thing. This is the only place, the restaurants, where they are telling it is expected that you are going to pay 15% upon what you are already spending, which sometimes is expensive, because depending on the kind of restaurant you go to and the kind of food that you offer, your bill can turn out to be a sizable chunk. And when you are done with that, you now have to add 15 or 20% of that. And as Carol says, not only that is your base where you start off at 15 or 20%. And then if the person was exceptional, then now comes the additional charge. I think it is unethical. I think it is unreasonable that you are expected to do this. You're expected to pay. Because I call it that you're double paying, You're paying twice. You're buying your food and then you're paying for the service. Why? Because the government allow it to happen. the government allow this industry to be unregulated, where they can pay a base salary, a base pay of $4 per hour or whatever it is. They pay them so cheaply. And then the onus is now on you. And then now these waiters, they are expecting you to pay them. I didn't employ them. When I go to the grocery store to buy my grocery and I go in the line, I don't tip these people. These people, the cashiers, they are there cashing. The company hired them to cash. What if everybody in the country begin to ask for tip for everything? Nobody not gonna have no money. Everybody are gonna broke. Because now it would be expected that everything you do, every service, everybody would start stretching out their hands for tip. So that is my take on the whole situation. What's your take? If you have anything to say on that, give me a call, no? 774-408-8860. 774-408-8860.
How you feel? Tell me how you feel. Oh, it's raining all around me. I can feel it. It's a lot of rain. Right on Jesus, please send more rain until we are wet, until we are soaked in the light of rain. Can you feel the light of the rain? It's raining all around me. I can feel it. It's the light of rain. Right on Jesus, please send more rain until we are wet, until we are soaked in the light of rain. It's raining, come on. Oh, it's raining all around me. I can feel it. It's the light of rain. Right on Jesus, please send more rain. Oh, until we are wet, until we are soaked, until we are wet, until we are soaked, until we are wet, wet, wet. Soak, soak, soak. Wet, wet, wet. Soak, soak, soak. Wet, wet, wet. Soak, soak, soak. How you feel? How you feel? Tell me how you feel. 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 Wet up in sheets. Wet.
Said this morning I woke up and I looked in the mirror and every part of my body was in place. Many people died and never saw this day. So another day I live, I appreciate. Don't ever wanna act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I can fall down on my face. So in everything, Lord, I give you praise. And that puts a smile on my face. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Don't fuss and fight, let us unite. We got one life, so let's make it right. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. So yeah, though I walk through the valleys of the shadows of death, I will fear no evil, won't the clock ticking away, and things are not in place. Everything in life happens for a reason. Disappointment comes with a lesson. It's on me to get wiser, got to work harder. In the end, it will get better. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Don't fuss and fight, let us unite. We got one life, so let's make it right. It's a beautiful day. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Hey. If you got life, then give God praise. You may not have much, but you're living day by day. You can't have faith and don't wanna work. Get up off that seat and put that brains to work. Yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah. It's a beautiful day. Yeah. It's a beautiful day.
Mama Matalan, Wagwan, big up yourself.
It may not be the way I want it to be, but I thank you for every situation that made me good and bad friends that came into my life, and those who are still here today. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day.
Lord, your merciful, Lord, have compassion. Forgiving and loving, that's who you are. Oh, I'm tired of doing things my way, so I'm begging you for a second thought. Here we go. Holy Ghost, broke me down, flat on me back, me so broke me down. Holy Ghost, broke me down, my wife suit that day up, me no care. I don't care. Holy Ghost, broke me down, anytime, anywhere. Occupy me life and flesh disappear. Put me aside and you be crowned. You are bigger than what people say you are. You do mightier works than they say you do. So like the day of Pentecost, your fire burning in my heart. So there's one thing I'm asking of you. Holy Ghost, broke me down. Flat from me back, me so broke me down. Holy Ghost, broke me down like Pentecost.
Holy Ghost broke me down,
Holy Ghost, broke me
flat by my back.
anywhere. Occupy me life and flesh this
Mr. Jackie, Wagwan,
aside and you be crowned.
Bonononos.
Me no want a pretty touch. Me cup is empty, Lord, please fill it up. Lord, I surrender all to you. Jesus, you're Alpha and Omega, you're my forever friend. Jesus, drop me down and I love you till the end. Holy Ghost, broke me down. Flat on me back, me so broke me down. Holy Ghost, broke me down. My wife suit that day up, me no care. Holy Ghost, broke me down. Anytime, anywhere. Occupy me life and flesh disappear. Put me aside and you be crowned. Jesus, you're merciful, Lord, have compassion. Forgiving and loving, that's who you are. Oh, I'm tired of doing things my way, so I'm begging you for a second touch. Holy Ghost, broke me down. Flat on me back, me so broke me down. Holy Ghost, broke me down. My wife suit that thing up, me no care. Holy Ghost, broke me down. Let me speak in a tongue, me so broke me down. Holy Ghost, broke me down. Like Pentecostal day, broke me down. Holy Ghost, broke me down. Flat on me back, me so broke me down. Holy Ghost, broke me down. Your wife suit that thing up, me no care. Holy Ghost, broke me down. Anytime, anywhere. Occupy me life and flesh disappear. Put me aside and you be crowned.
Father God, I pray that you will bless us again as we are careful to give you the honor, the glory, and the praise again. Amen. Here we go. My heart is hungry. My soul is dry, Lord. I am thirsty
God is still on the throne, whether you believe it or not. He is still, yes, he is. He's still on the throne. 8:45. Time for issues affecting relationship.
Now, time for issues affecting relationships. IAR. IAR is aired on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network every Thursday at 8:45 p.m. The views expressed are not necessarily those of the management and staff of the station. The information presented in this segment are for educational and entertainment purposes. Now here's your host, Chris Whilby.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you once again. How are you doing this evening? It's 8:46 and it is now time for issues affecting relationship. In this segment, we give you issues affecting relationship. Yeah, just as the topic suggests. Yeah, issues affecting relationship. All right, so this one here is interesting. And the topic here says that the headline says that dad won't go to stepson's wedding because it's on the same day his daughter graduates. Dad won't go to stepson's wedding because it's on the same day his daughter graduates. And the article reads, planning a wedding is the kind of activity that can stir up a lot for everyone in the family, whether or not they are the person getting married. One dad recently took to Reddit to get advice about a sticky spot he's in. His daughter is graduating college on the same day his stepson chose for his wedding, and the dad's loyalty is to his daughter. The dad is careful to note that he loves both kids, but his daughter's graduation was set first, and both his wife and stepson knew the date when they started planning the wedding. The dad also notes that he is not the biggest fan of his stepson's bride-to-be. And he says, I'm 43, dad of two, Tracy, bio 22, and Sean, step 24. Tracy's mom is deceased, and I'm the only family left for her since she doesn't have any close relatives. They all live away and are always in and out of touch with us. Sean and I are on great terms. I met his mom when he was 17. Now he's about to get married, although his fiancée seems a bit controlling and overall rude. Things started off rocky as soon as the family started talking about wedding plans. Tracy is about to finish her last year in college. Her graduation is in May. She's given me a specific date and wanted me and her stepmom to be there to share her happiness. Sean and his fiancée have been busy planning their wedding. He visited us yesterday to tell us about it. He said his fiancée, and her mom agreed on the wedding to be on X day, this May. I was taken aback, the dad explained. I told Sean to repeat the date, and it turned out it's the same day as Tracy's graduation day. The same day. I just paused for a minute. No one else even noticed. The dad adds that his wife didn't even notice he had paused, which made things worse. My wife didn't notice, so I reminded them both that Tracy's graduation is on X day this May. Sean looked at me and said he already knows, but his fiancée and her mom wanted a specific venue, and it's only available on that day of the month. The argument started. It turns out the stepson is contending with a dramatic future mother-in-law, and he refuses to change the date because she will get mad. I asked him how exactly was he expecting me to attend when I'm already invited to Tracy's graduation. My wife said we could attend the graduation and the wedding the same day. But I called her illogical, since I'll have to drive 4 hours to attend the graduation. Tracy lives in the city. I asked Sean if he could postpone since he wants me there so desperately. He threw a fit, saying he can't, and this will cause an issue with his mother-in-law. On top of that, the stepson had the audacity to suggest that the dad could postpone his daughter's graduation celebration. He suggested that I postpone my daughter's graduation. My daughter's graduation party, that is. What the hell? I can't do that. It's totally out of my hand. Sean never went to college, and that was his choice. But he should know graduations cannot be postponed. He and my wife stared at me. I said that he needed to think of another date for his wedding. Otherwise, I won't attend because I want to see my daughter graduate college. It's a big deal. My wife took it as in Tracy was more important to me. But I pointed out that Tracy didn't pick the date, nor can she control it. But Sean can control when he have his wedding. His wife accused him of playing favorites with the kids, which is a pretty awful situation to be in. She lashed out saying there's blatant favoritism on display here, and I shouldn't try to downplay the importance of Sean getting married since it's a once-in-a-lifetime event as well. I got so mad at her for indirectly asking me to miss Tracy's graduation to show up and support Sean on his big day. Sean was angry and left the house later. My wife kept arguing with me about what I told Sean and that I hurt his feelings and made it clear who is the golden child. I told her it wasn't my fault and I'm literally stuck in this situation. Yet she still claims I mishandled the entire situation. So the man is asking, who is in the wrong here? That's the gist of the story here. Issues affecting relationship. And I am certain that that issue is definitely going to affect that relationship going forward. What's your take on the matter? It's 8:53.
Said be the King of Israel in the name of Jesus. Give thanks and praise the Lord for Jesus Christ. Son of God, Jesus Christ. Check. Hallelujah.
Wish I knew then what I know now.
Almito.
How sweet the name of Jesus
I'm sure
sounds.
I want a sweet song.
Wish I knew then what I know now.
I love you, Jesus.
When
I
you
love you.
trust in the Lord, He'll never let you down.
Why? Well, one time Ghana was a dangerous sinner. Never used to send me bills before me in the dinner. When me boy young, nobody couldn't make me simmer. Hot me too hot, every little thing me hinna. No me find Christ, I am a new grand beginner. But now conquer me, have to come out as the winner. Me love Jesus more than Benz and Beamer. Give them the word of God, yeah, me singer.
Hallelujah, Christ is
I am
King.
happy in Jesus.
Glory,
Bless.
glory, I'm happy to.
Glorify His name, don't never be ashamed.
Hallelujah, Christ is
I
King.
love you, Jesus.
Glory, glory,
The act of the kill his life me reject. Satan coulda never run me to a wreck. I am living by the spirit and not by the flesh.
Hallelujah, Christ is King.
Blessed.
Glory, glory,
I
I'm
love
happy
you,
to
Jesus.
sing.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah, Christ is King. Glory, glory, I'm happy
Check
to
it.
sing.
Blessed Lord.
Glory,
I love you, Jesus.
glory,
Glorify his name, you know. Don't be afraid. Sure.
Christ is King.
Tell the world. Who is the king?
Glory, hallelujah, glory. That's why I love him.
Oh, you know you get saved. You renew your mind and change all your ways. In a public, you know how to behave. Walk by the spirit, you know walk on face. Every single day you give thanks and praise. When me baptize, me never got the pick up here. I got me go to worship, my me go to praise. And give him all the thanks for eternal days. Glorify his name, I say.
Wish I knew then what I know now.
Blessed.
How sweet the name
I love
of
you, Jesus.
Jesus sounds.
Lord.
Wish I knew then what I know now. When you trust in the Lord, He'll never let you down. Hallelujah, Christ is King. Glory, glory, I'm happy.
Blessed Lord. Name of
Hallelujah, Christ is King. Glory, glory, I'm happy
happy
to
Jesus.
sing.
Joy to the world.
Glory,
And the world knows the King of Kings.
glory,
That's why it's not the rest.
Christ is King. Glory, glory, that's why I love Him. One handful of salt will heal the nation. One handful of salt will heal the nation. One handful of salt will heal the nation. Go in Jesus' name. Arise and depart, for this is not your rest.
Back to that old man mark. Everybody,
Arise and depart, for this is not your rest. Go back to the old landmark. One handful of salt will heal the nation. One handful of salt will heal the nation. One handful of salt will heal the nation. Go in Jesus' name. One handful of salt will heal the nation. One handful of salt will heal the nation. One handful of salt will heal the nation. Go in Jesus' name. Go in Jesus' name. Go in Jesus' name. Go in Jesus' name. And bring change along the way. Yeah.
now 9 o'clock on the Big Bad Station, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network, CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. That's www.CaribbeanVibesRadio.com. And it is now time, ladies and gentlemen, for issues affecting relationship.
In Jesus' name.
What did I say? Issues affecting relationship in the spotlight, rather. My bad. In the spotlight with Chris, will be shining a light on interesting people, places, and things. And as I told you earlier on, that this evening we are going to be shining a spotlight on the fifth Prime Minister of Jamaica, Honorable Philip George Edward Siaga.
One handful of souls will heal the nation if we call in Jesus' name. Arise and depart, for this is not your rest. Back to the old landmark. Arise and depart, for this is not your rest. Go back to the old landmark.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, good evening to you. And who is Edward Philip George Siaga? I'm going to play for you a little clip from Smile Jamaica this morning time with Neville Burtis Bell. They put together something that is a short clip. And then I am going to give you some more information as to who the man is. He is in the spotlight this evening, and want to shine the spotlight on Mr. Siaga.
Edward Philip George Siaga was the youngest person to be nominated to the Legislative Council and later the Senate at age 29. He was also the longest serving member of Parliament, serving Western for 40 years. So we're going to delve into his works with a political analyst on the other side of the break. But first, here's a feature that we put together.
Parliament in Western Kingston, a seat he would hold for 40 consecutive years. In 1972, Siaga emerged as leader of the JLP, leading the party to victory in the 1980 general election.
I remember driving across Kingston because we were enumerated in one constituency and had moved to live in another. and had to journey across town for casting our votes. In that year, we saw the highest voter turnout in the history of Jamaica and the largest margin of political victory by a political party since universal adult suffrage in 1944. So it was a very dramatic, ideologically driven election.
The JLP won 51 of the 60 seats in the House of Representatives, a landslide victory over the People's National Party, the PNP.
When we win, you couldn't expect our joy. Jump and make nice at the never done yet. Pero pa Wellington Street at Chakamola, make noise.
On October 30, 1980, a 50-year-old Edward Seaga took the oath of office on his way to Jamaica House as the country's 5th Prime Minister. Leadership came with its opportunities.
I have great feeling and passion for the opportunity that politics gave me to be able to deal with my pet peeve about the country's development, and that is the two Jamaicas in which we live.
There were also challenges.
The one that was the worst one for us was the recession that took place at the beginning of the when it hit Jamaica in 1982-83. But it was a massive recession. It was at that time considered the worst global recession since the Great Depression of 1929. And that signature has been replaced now by what has happened since 2008. But nonetheless, that really created havoc with the economy.
And later, regrets.
I know that we did a lot of good things, and they're there for the record. But at the same time, you expect that people will understand and appreciate those good things. And you don't have to talk too much about them. Well, that was wrong. I should have promoted the things that we did, not once, not twice. In Jamaica, everything has to be said 3 times before it is really absorbed and understood.
Edward Seaga served as Prime Minister of Jamaica until 1989, when his party lost the general election to the PNP.
By 1989, the political opponents of Edward Seaga had ideologically repositioned, and after 2 cycles, Jamaicans felt that it was time for another change.
It was the first of 4 general election defeats for Seaga, and after 31 years at the helm of the Jamaica Labour Party, the veteran politician walked away from representational politics. He was 74. During the
Okay, so thank you for sticking around here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so in the spotlight this evening is Mr. Seaga, Honorable Edward Seaga. His political career began in 1959 when Sir Alexander Bustamante, the founder of the Jamaica Labour Party, nominated him to serve in the upper house of the Jamaica legislature. The Legislative Council, later the Senate. His appointment at age 29 made him the youngest member ever appointed to the Legislative Council, which established the framework for national independence in August 1962. In April 1962, Mr. Seaga was elected a Member of Parliament for Western Kingston. He held that seat for over 40 consecutive years. Mr. Seaga was the longest serving member of Parliament in the history of Jamaica. Immediately after winning his seat in 1962, Mr. Seaga was appointed to the Cabinet as Minister of Development and Welfare. Following the 1967 general elections, he was appointed Minister of Finance and Planning, and in 1974 he became leader of the JLP and the parliamentary opposition until the 1980 general elections. Edward Seaga became Prime Minister of Jamaica following the general elections of October 30, 1980, when the Jamaica Labour Party won a landslide victory over the incumbent People's National Party. The mandate of Mr. Siaga and the Jamaica Labour Party was renewed in the uncontested 1983 general elections. He remained Prime Minister until February 1989. Now let us look at some of their contribution to national development. The financial development of Mr. Siaga, what he contributed to. Mr. Siaga established, encouraged, promoted, or introduced several institutions which have contributed to the modernization and development of financial sector. These include the Jamaica Stock Exchange, Jamaica Unit Trust in the 1970, Jamaica Mortgage Bank 1973, National Development Bank 1981, the Agricultural Credit Bank 1981, the Exim Bank 1986, and the Students' Loan Bureau. The Self Start Fund in 1984 was established by him to provide loans to micro businesses. He promoted the modernization of commercial agriculture by introducing high technology and stimulating agricultural enterprises in new crops. In 1988, he launched a program to plant 1 million trees. He put unused and underused publicly owned lands to work. The highly successful Jamaica National Investment Promotion Limited, JNIP, now JAMPRO, was created by him in 1981 as a one-stop investment organization to promote local and overseas investment in Jamaica. Under his administration in the 1980s, the income and corporate tax system was comprehensively reformed and modernized to make it more equitable and efficient. The rate was substantially reduced to a flat 33% from a high of 60% for both individuals and corporate entities. Mr. Siaga also introduced modern computerized technology into the administration and organization of revenue collection, in which each taxpayer would be assigned a taxpayer registration number. He overhauled the indirect tax system by combining a number of taxes into a single general consumption tax, the GCT. As Minister of Finance, Mr. Siaga represented Jamaica as a governor of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, the Inter-American Development Bank, and the Caribbean Development Bank. In the area of community development, urban and rural development, and the environment. In the 1960s, Mr. Siaga transformed the country's then worst slum, which was then called a Bakawal, into a modern low-income residential community renamed Tivoli Gardens. Tivoli Gardens has a full range of cultural and social amenities for all age groups and remains a model of successful urban community development. Mr. Siaga established the Urban Development Corporation, the UDC, in 1968. Through the UDC, the waterfronts of Kingston, Ocho and Montego Bay were developed into major resort, residential port, commercial, and office complexes. Among other accomplishments, the UDC has spearheaded the development of Negril as a resort area. Notably, some 50,000 acres of choice land were acquired by the UDC at Mr. Siaga's initiative to establish a land bank for further development. This formed the basis for planned development such as Helsha, Bloody Bay, Negril, Seville, and Auchindown, Westmoreland. Perhaps the largest of all urban development projects will be the 30,000-acre Helsha area on the outskirts of the overpopulated capital city. Mr. Siaga initiated the purchase of this prized area together with nearby Caymanas lands for the creation of a new city through the UDC. In 1985, Mr. Siaga established the Metropolitan Parks and Markets, the MPM, as a subsidiary of the UDC to be responsible for public cleansing, beautification, and the maintenance of the parks and markets in the city of Kingston and other specified urban areas. MPM literally transformed this aspect of city management by delivering an effective and cost efficient service. In the area of human resource development, Mr. Siaga's most satisfying area of endeavor has been the creation of several outstanding societal programs, especially for young people. Among them are the Human Employment and Resource Training Program, the HEART, which began in 1983 and provides job related training for school leavers and dropouts on a wide scale throughout Jamaica. This had a most positive impact on the expansion of skills and job capabilities of young people. LEAP, Learning for Earning Activity Program. The LEAP was established by Mr. Siaga in 1986 to provide training for street children. In 1988, he successfully raised funds from the European Union loan facility to build residential halls for the University of the West Indies, University of Technology, and the Cultural Training Center, now the Edna Manley School of Art. In 1985, he launched Solidarity Program to finance and stimulate entrepreneurship among young people by giving them loans and guidance in establishing their own micro businesses. In 1970, Siaga launched the Student Revolving Loan Fund to assist needy students at the university program. Food aid. The food aid program was established by Mr. Siaga in 1983 to assist the poorest groups in the society by supplementing their food supply. The most significant beneficiaries under the program are primary school children who receive a high protein lunch daily. In addition, pregnant and nursing mothers, children under 3, the indigent, disabled, and elderly received food stamps to assist them to improve dietary needs. Golden Age Homes. The Golden Age movement was launched by Mr. Siaga in the 1960s and a new concept in the modern community care for the aged. The first Golden Age home was built in 1985 as a modern planned home for the aged. In the area of cultural development, Mr. Siaga has often said that his first love is culture, and his monumental achievements in the field stand as a testament to this. He created and established the Jamaica Festival, in which institutions, groups, and individuals compete annually in the literary, performing, plastic, and graphic arts, as well as culinary skills, leading up to the independence celebrations. He also introduced National Heritage Week. The Jamaica Festival has become the showcase of Jamaican talent and the cradle of our traditional folk culture. In the 1960s, while he was Minister of Development and Welfare, Mr. Siaga gave Jamaica popular music, ska, its first exposure to the international scene by promoting overseas tours of Jamaican artists. Together with his own pioneering work in the recording of Jamaican music, this laid the foundations for the international emergence of reggae, now popular worldwide. He established a craft development company, Things Jamaica, in 1961 to nurture the development of Jamaica's handicraft, made Devon House a national monument to showcase our heritage and craft, and completed plans for the development of Port Royal, Seville, and Spanish Town as archaeological parks of international renown. He introduced color television in 1962 and in 1988 divested several government owned radio stations, private interest, and the church. Mr. Siaga conceived and designed the Cultural Training Center for all the arts drama, music, painting, sculpture, and dance, and donated his own extensive collection of folk music of Jamaica to the School of Music. Mr. Siaga influenced the careers of several internationally acclaimed Jamaica popular artists and played a major role in introducing the work of the world famous Jamaican intuitive artist Malika Copper Reynolds. He also inaugurated the respected Jamaica Journal, published quarterly by the Institute of Jamaica, which is devoted to promoting the arts, natural history, sociology, and science through publications. Mr. Siaga played a principal part in the return of the body of Marcus Garvey to Jamaica and in establishing the nation's highest order, that of national hero, of which Garvey was the first recipient. And we will now look at his personal history. Mr. Siaga, who was born in the Evangeline Booth Memorial Salvation Army Hospital in Boston, while his parents were in the USA, was also a Jamaican citizen by virtue of his parentage, but he made the momentous decision to formally give up his American citizenship. On August 22, 1965, he married Mary Elizabeth Mitzi Constantine, Miss Jamaica 1965. They have two sons, Christopher Andrew, and a daughter, Annabelle. On June 14, 1996, he married Carla Francis, who is involved in sociology research and the development of Jamaican handicraft. She was responsible for the development of the Solidarity Project to assist the poorest of the poor in small entrepreneurial enterprises. They have a daughter, Gabrielle, born September 16, 2002. As an athlete, he played on several teams at Wolmer's and Harvard. He continued to be an avid sports lover. Kingston Cricket Club, various hunting clubs, and the Jamaica Skeet Club, and president of the Tivoli Gardens Football Club. He was all a part of those. In the spotlight this evening, ladies and gentlemen, is the most Honorable Philip Edward George Siaga, former Prime Minister of Jamaica, visionary. That is where we will leave it for this evening. And next, we will give you another episode in the spotlight the last Thursday of each month. So there you have it. Mr. Siaga, ladies and gentlemen, is undoubtedly a great Jamaican, and he gave a lot to Jamaica. A lot of people don't remember. A lot of people don't acknowledge it for whatever reason. Now, I see in the news recently where Nigel Clark, the Minister of Finance, he made a statement in Parliament when he called Mark Golding, the leader of the opposition, Massa Mark. Now, he said that he did not mean it in the context at which people believe he meant it. He meant it in the context that Mr. Golding was acting when he called the Jamaican, when he called the labor rights idiots. He was acting as, what he said, I'm paraphrasing, as their master or something to that effect. So he didn't mean it in a racial way. He was acting as if he was better than them, for want of a better term. So that is what he said. But, you know, if we should go back in history, we would remember that a lot of people, to matter of fact, the People's National Party, you remember the song that said, My Leader Barnya? Yeah, maybe I should find that song and play it. My Leader Barnya. That was in reference to the fact that Edward Siaga was not born in the country. He was born in Boston. He gave up his American citizenship and he came to Jamaica. His mother was a Jamaican. Now, a lot of people referred to Mr. Siaga as not one of us. And that's why they had the song, My Leader Barney. And they made sure they used it against him. And he won. The one election, he actually won. Because the other one was uncontested. And they made sure that they demonized him so much that he did not have a chance to go back to God knows. So the same people right now who are crying out, who are saying that the Jamaica Labour Party is playing the race card. They lived the race card. Throughout the tenure of Edward Seaga, they were always pulling and playing the race card on him until Percival James Patterson, PJ Patterson, when he was running, one of the issues that they ran on was it was black man time. Oh, how we tend to forget. Our memories are very short. Black man time. That was predominantly, that was one of the phrases that there were many, but that was one of them that was constantly used throughout Mr. Patterson's tenure. Black man time. But now, the same PNP, they are calling Mark Golding's comment, not Mark Golding, the finance minister's comment against Mark Golding to be inappropriate and calling for him to apologize. Anyway, that is that, ladies and gentlemen. 27 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's get back to some more music.
That's the reason why I love him so. 'Cause Jesus is the sweetest name I know. I sing it to you. I wanna hear the story. Tell me the story. I wanna hear the story. I wanna hear it. Really wanna hear the story of him who died for me. I wanna hear the story. I wanna hear the story. Really wanna hear the story of him who died for me. Tell of the cross where they lay written in anguish and pain.
So Margie, good evening to you. How are you doing? Miss Barbara, how are you? Sister Barbara. Good to see you, good to see you. Mr. Wallace, how are you doing, my brother? Good to see you, good to see you. King Ryan. What a go on.
Jesus is the sweetest name I know. And he's just the same as when love you. That's the reason why I love him so. I love it. Jesus.
Lady D. Denise Gomez. What's up? What's happening?
I wanna hear the story. You got to tell me. I wanna hear the story. You got to tell me. Really wanna hear the story. Really wanna hear it. Of him who died for me. I wanna hear the story. I wanna hear the story. Really wanna hear the story of him who died.
earlier on, I laid out, I put out a topic out there, and if you want to participate in that, you can in the discussion there, you can give me a call 774-408-8860. Talking about we're talking about, and I'm coming back to the music shortly. Talking about tipping. And Carol responded by saying that 15% is where you should start. Some people say at 20%. You should start at 20. And then if you get a good service, then you should add more. And I'm saying that I believe that this tipping thing has gotten out of control, because everybody expects you to tip. So what's your topic on tipping? How do you see tipping? You go to a restaurant and you spend a couple of you go there, or maybe a party of three. You end up spending $200 on food, or a little over $200 on food. And now on top of that, you're expected to tip 20% of that. And on top of the 20%, if you believe that you got a very good service, your waiter was on time, she checked in on you, and she made sure that you were comfortable, she did everything that you offered, you now have to give her a little something on that 20%. How is it fair for you as the consumer to tip, to be forced to tip when you go to a restaurant? I mean, they're not literally holding a gun to your head, but they may as well be doing it. Because if you don't tip and you go outside, the waiter may end up running after you and asking you, come to not tip. Hello, good evening. You're live on the radio.
Look, Papa, me agree with that,
Mm-hmm.
Me agree with that. I don't know why everyone, even on my job, I'm working in the hotel,
Mm-hmm.
and you will hear people pass remarks. One of my housekeeper the other day, I sent her to do something, and she would make a reply how much the guest. Cheaper, don't tip.
Mm-hmm.
So me asked her, me said, how much for the room that the guest took? She said she don't know. I said, this particular case is paying $700 a night.
Right.
And the guest is not getting nothing, Chris. A bottle of water is $2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, water. You know, means that she called downstairs and asked a pitcher of coffee or whatever. So I said, this whole expectation of tip is through the door for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe in one thing. I don't want, that's why when they offer me, when I just getting into hotel, they ask if I want to do bellman and doorman, and they tell me, I said no. I said the moment someone is handing me a $2, they think they own me. That's what me look at tipping. That's why most time I tell the guests to give the tips to the housekeeper, not to me. That's
Right.
one thing I hate. I refuse to work at a job where they tell you about tip or commission. Those are two jobs I hate. Commission jobs and tip jobs. Because these jobs hold people, have people in bondage and slavery. Now this person who's working gonna have to work at everybody can call to this person, hoping to get this 20%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
To which, no, charge me, pay the workers.
Right. I agree with you.
Charge me, pay the workers. But
Mm-hmm.
most of these people, after they knock it up, half of it don't even go to the workers.
Yeah.
And that's why me always say, anytime me they sit anywhere, it's never on the bill. Me always walk with the tip. by itself in a cash.
Yes, yes.
The boss now count this tip.
Yeah, I like to
Me
do
not
that
trust,
too.
me not trust the boss. Anytime I go in any restaurant, even I do everything with credit card, but my tip is always in cash. Me I tip the exact person. And me I tell them, say, push this in your pocket first before you even collect the boss, before you even collect the master.
Yes, yes. And one of the things that I find a little bit disconcerting, because I have no problem tipping, and you know what I mean.
Me too.
People do a good job, you give them a tip, but the fact that you are quote unquote expected
Expected,
to
right.
tip after you are going there and spending so much money to buy
Money,
your
that-
food, and on top of that, they're now dictating that. They're not telling you that
How much?
they're not telling you that, oh, you can tip a $5 here. A lot of places, if you give somebody a $5 tip, they consider that very generous.
All right.
If you go into the restaurant industry and you give a $5 tip, oh my God. It's like the world is going to end.
First of all, I always ask how the money is being distributed. We'd like to find out how, if this guy shares with 20 people or just one people.
Right.
Because I tip everybody. My post lady get her end of the year bonus. The people that serve at the supermarket get. And if I go to a particular restaurant, which I'm like that, my Jamaican restaurant,
Yes.
that individual get a tip also. But them fancy restaurants where they go tell you about 15 and
Yeah, the 15 and the 20%. And because it's like they're expecting you to pay their workers. That's it. And I think that is very unethical of these people.
Yep.
And it is putting pressure on the
how much
patrons.
them are pay the workers. That's why me going to glory detail when me the tip, When me the tip a certain place, me going to details because me need to know how the tip are distributed. Because if this waiter serve me good, friendly, courteous, everything, fear tip now share with nobody. That's why me walk with the cash and I say, put it in your pocket.
Right.
And even if me think that them are going to see when me give her a tip, me tell her, I say, walk with me out the door. Because nobody nah see when you get. You tell them you don't get nothing.
Yeah.
Because we get to understand, say, some of the restaurant, them management asks how much they get in a cash versus how much they charge on the check. And I think that is so greedy on the part of our management or owner.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Me give my tip in a cash. No, you're not. Master not count this in not going a proper tail. Not going in there. Me they give me tip in a cash. You who serve me, this is yours. I could have $1 million and yours.
Yeah.
One.
Because they're the ones who serve you, so they're the ones who are
Exactly.
supposed to
And
benefit.
you run back and forth with the water whole night. And Papa sit down one after some that we speak to see how much, and then no, and then what about? So if these are one workers, if we can a group of people and we spend $1,000 in the night, and these are workers that deserve $500, $50, whatever they deserve. So in work all and then you have to split up the all. How much in more?
Because some of them,
cash.
that's their policy because they don't pay the workers, so they use the tip to pay all the workers. And I find it's something that I really I struggle with it, because I just believe that I should not be forced to have to pay these people after I am already buying and spending so much money in this establishment. Now you are expecting me.
Always ask the workers how your tip is being distributed. No, no matter about them how much in percent. Me not even look on that. But at $20, me start at a 10, 20, $30, but me they give it in a cash. In I go on that.
Right.
And if the waiter smart, as soon as me get my cash, then me go stash them.
Yeah, that's true.
As soon as me get my cash, then me go stash it. So when you pull me over, my pocket dry. A bathroom, anytime I keep a bathroom, me I go, So everybody, after me don't serve my guests, me go make one trip at the bathroom.
True, man. That's true. That's true, man.
All
right.
Nah, cut me money.
All right, King Ryan, thank you for calling. Yeah.
All right, brother, no problem.
All right, God bless. Yeah, man, it's true, man. This thing about the tipping, you know, you have to tip.
God is bigger than any mountain that I can and cannot see.
It is 9:41. We're getting out of here at the top of the hour. It is Thankful Thursday.
God is bigger than any mountain that I can and cannot see. So when I'm tempted on my journey and my mind began to sway, I just call out to my Savior in a sweet old prayer. His presence overflow me, my problems fade away, 'cause my Master knows my care and He's with me everywhere.
Lady D says you're watching my show and watching Jams at the same time. I know which story is going. I know what comes first and what comes second, little lady D. You don't have to tell me. I know your first love. But boy, what a champs last night, man. I tell you. Records were falling left, right, and center. We have a new star. We have a new star in Jamaica, you know, a new track and field star. Buwaji is his name. Buwaji? I think that's his name, right? Why fast like lightning? I tell you. Carlene Davis. This island need Jesus. I tell you, Jamaica need. Why I tell you, we need more than Jesus right about now.
To a groovy reggae beat, yet everything in life is bittersweet.
To everything that's going on,
Sitting in
island of Jamaica need.
you very far. You think life's a
Need Jesus, don't you?
fancy car, but your heart can be lonely, though you have life and plenty. Moving with everyone to the cemetery. You need Jesus in the plan to direct this island. It's not all about seashore and sand. Let's teach your children right. Let them have an insight. It's all about the blood of Jesus Christ. So hear me now, my brother. You need to know the Savior to make everything alright. This island needs Jesus. This island He's the mighty King of Kings. He's the conquering Lord of Lords. This island is Jesus. This island is Jesus. Come and sing all praises to the King. King of Kings. Members of Parliament and heads of government, to get it right won't cost you a cent. Salvation is free. It's there for you and me. Jesus paid the price at Calvary. Sing praises unto him. Let's glorify the King. Magnify and bless his holy name. Teach Jesus in the schools. Let them know this is school. Let his word be established. Don't be a fool. You need Jesus in the plan to direct this island. It's not all about seashore and sand. Let's teach the children right. Let them have an insight. It's all about the blood of Jesus Christ. This island is Jesus. This island is Jesus. He's a mighty King of Kings. He's a conquering Lord of Lords. This island is Jesus. This island is Jesus. Come and sing all praises to the King. King of Kings. Yeah.
The island need Jesus. Hey. Oh boy. Yes, sir. Man, we had some earth-shattering moments last night at the Boys and Girls Championship. I have an highlight here that I'm gonna play for you. Incredible talent. Alana Reed. Alana Reed ran sub 11 in the 100 meter. 10.92. It was just incredible. And not to talk about, we're not even going to talk about the male. We're talking about the female. Yeah? So, here's a highlight, ladies and gentlemen, of what happened last night in the 100 meter race.
James got up with it free. Alana Reed begins to storm away. James trying to go reverse out in fourth. Knight on the outside flying. Alana Reed wins it. Look at the time. Look at the time.
10.9. 10.92. I tell you. 10.92. Let's look at that. Let's look at that one more time. Let's look at that one more time, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. Look at that. The rest of the field did not have a chance. Did not have a chance. I tell you, and I will see if I can find the clip of for the meal. I tell you, it was. I watched them this morning, and man, it was incredible. So I understand Lady D not paying me no mind this evening. Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. She's focused like a laser. Cause she have to get for her clip for go play for her show too, you know. So hey, that's what I said. Not sure. Yeah, man. Oh, boy, I tell you. I'm gonna see if I can find let's see if I can find the clip of the boys race. Stand by. Let me see if I can find that.
For the anointing, are you ready for the healing? My God, my God, my God.
I'll try to play that before I get out of here.
Jesus, fill me now. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. Fill me, Jesus, fill me now. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. Satan want to conquer me. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. Satan want to conquer me, Lord. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. And me say, heal me, Jesus, heal me now. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. Heal me, Jesus, heal my soul. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. Satan want to conquer me. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. Satan want to conquer me. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. Anoint me, Jesus, anoint me now. Anoint me with your Holy Ghost. Anoint me, Jesus, anoint me now. Anoint me with your Holy Ghost. Satan want to conquer me. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. Satan want to conquer me. Fill me with your Holy Ghost. Fill me, Jesus, fill me now. Fill me with your Holy Ghost.
Buwaji Nkrumah. Buwaji Nkrumah. He's one to watch. He's, at a matter of fact, he has already written his name in the history books. Boys and Girls Champs 2023 is already one for the history books. So I'm going to play, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play for you a clip of the race last night. And I want you to watch it.
Doing after the sprint double, the Quinella in class 4. All right, I'm going to tell the viewers ahead of time, Spencer, what I was going to tell them after the race. Only 2 juniors have ever gone sub 10. Only 2. That's the world junior record holder, Tebogo from Botswana, and Trayvon Bromell from the US. Those are the only 2 in the history of stud sport who have gone sub 10 for the 100 meters. Do we see the third?
Yeah. So we also expect great performances from Jaden Reed and DeAndre Daly. I think they should be getting a PB out of this.
Yeah. Here's Yuri Lawrence Clark. He's from Kingston College, goes in lane 1.
10.55 seconds coming in.
Jamaica College's Hector Benjamin, he goes in lane 2.
10:31, the number 2 man at JC, hoping to score big points now.
Monk Street into the quiz final. Raheem Pinnock representing in the Class 1 boys 100 meter final.
10.40 seconds.
In lane 4, 818, his name is Buwaji Nkrumah from Kingston College.
The 7th fastest junior ever to run the 100 meters at 10:02, Jamaica's national junior record holder at 10:02 and the champs record holder at 10:08.
Next to him, DeAndre Daly of Herbert Morrison.
An extremely talented sprinter who should get a personal best tonight. 10.21 seconds.
Yeah, 10:21, a personal best in the semis. Next to him, Jaden Reed from the Cayman Islands by way of Jamaica College.
He's the number 1 man at JC, their top sprinter, 10:24 his personal best to get to this final.
In lane 7 from Manchester, the Cool Hills, Javoon Blair, the central champion.
Extremely talented young man, and we expect a great performance from him. 10.46 seconds.
And rounding out the field, the Penn Relays 4x1 medalist, Junior Harris from Camperdown.
10:41 to get here. Part of the controversy with that false start in heat semi-final 3.
Wait for the cut.
So, again, viewers, expect history to be made right now inside the National Stadium.
Class 1 boys 100 meter final. The record was done in the semi-finals by this young man from Kingston College, Buwaji Nkrumah. He laid down the gauntlet with 10.08 seconds a couple of hours ago. He holds the national junior record at 10.02 seconds. He's on the cusp of history. He's on the cusp of doing something unprecedented in local junior track and field. Will he deliver? We will know in a matter of moments. The set position. It's an electrified start by Buwaji and Kumi. Daly and Benjamin are chasing relentlessly. And Kumi steps on the accelerator, goes away in grand style. It's a great performance. 997. Wow, we have just seen the first ever top 10 in the history of champs. Comment the hour, comment the man, comment Buwaji and Kumi. Another stunning performance. Wow. What have we just seen? Daily for silver, but Buwaji and Kumi, 999. Take that to the bank again. First in the history of champs, top 10. A new national junior record. And for the second time on the day, in a matter of hours, another new lifetime best by this prodigy out of Kingston College, Buwaji and Kumi.
Dr. Speed.
It's a Grace Kennedy
Buwaji and Nkrumah, ladies and gentlemen. That is where we're going to leave you for the night. Buwaji. No, ladies, that is the video. I just was highlighting what happened last night. So Buwaji and Nkrumah is one to watch on the world stage. You can go back and watch it. It is on YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Buwaji and Nkrumah. 9.99. Schoolboy. Running. 9. That is one of the fastest times. I tell you, it was mind blowing. You know, but yeah, that's yeah. I was kind of speechless this morning when I heard the time. I was like, what? Because I have to admit, you know, I don't follow the sport as much, but I have an idea what goes on there, and I have an idea of the timing and what is not expected from a schoolboy. Yeah, and to hear that a schoolboy was running this fast, it is just simply amazing. So look out for him, Buwaji and Nkrumah. You're going to hear a whole lot more about him on the world stage. Trust me. Usain Bolt? Yeah. Your replacement is here, brother. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for sticking with me throughout the 2 hours. I thank you. I'll be back here on Sunday evening with Divine Praise at 6 o'clock. Until then, take care of your beautiful, beautiful selves. Enjoy your weekend. May God continue to bless, guide, and keep you. This has been Thankful Thursday. Do it again next week, Thursday. Have a fantastic night. God bless you.
Double for your trouble. Everything's gonna be alright. Double for my trouble. Check the answer, man. Double for my trouble. Double O, double O, double O. Everything's gonna be alright. Thank you, Jesus. Double for my trouble. When facing trouble, check the answer, man. When the storm of life seems to push you to dismay, you lost for words you can't comprehend. When life seems to box you trouble. Everything's gonna be alright.
I trust in the name of the Lord, my strength, yeah.
Double for my trouble.
You make a way for me.
Take the answer, man.
Thank you, Jesus, yeah.
Double for my trouble. Double oh, double oh, double oh. Everything's gonna be alright.
Thank you, Jesus.
Double for my trouble.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Take the answer.